Hello everyone, this is Ross from retrodreambeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Sorry, our normal setup is just full of stuff right now. So had a bunch of sales, so we're just going to jump right into it. We are short on time. Right here is a child guidance toy right here. Really cool vintage toy. It has a bunch of these little tools and stuff. They're like fake ones, but it was in good condition. We got this from like a storage unit flipper. We get a bunch of stuff bulk from them. This ended up going for $13.23 plus shipping. Everything's gonna be plus shipping. All right, next up, this is gonna be one of those fur baby dogs right here. This is just gonna be like a white one. This reminded me of recently I was talking with my parents and they were getting some of those AI, or they got tricked by those AI stuffed animal woofy puppy dog things that they think are going to be super amazing. And I tried to lower their expectations, so I've been sending my parents all the different ways that the AI stuff is not working or whatever. So I literally told them, I was like, oh, you can just get literally a stuffed animal that I have right now. It's probably gonna be on the quality of some of those AI ones. They just do a good marketing blitz, so people see the videos and they're like, oh, this is super amazing. I can get a real AI dog for 20 bucks. But yeah, someone picked up a fur baby. So someone else took my advice. Just go ahead and grab one of these fur baby things. This sold for $9.45. We've been selling a lot of plushies and stuffed animals. I guess that's just the hot thing right now. It kind of goes through phases. But yeah, it's cool to see that. All right, next up is going to be this right here. Complete set of They Met at Gettysburg. This is going to be some wargaming shit tokens. This is what they come in when they come in those rectangular board game boxes. So yeah, this is the full set for that board game. So people always buy the replacement ones, even if they're not on the particular, not the sprue, the punch board here. So this one for $16 to repeat buyer. They're probably keeping track of all the military stuff that I get all the time, those extra tokens. All right. Next up is going to be Warhammer Open War. This is going to be, I believe this is 7th edition. I think these are some kind of objective cards or something. I haven't played Warhammer 40K. So yeah, I get a bunch of these smaller packs of cards, and then they'll have the spells and stats and stuff. And they don't sell for anything too crazy, but I usually get them pretty cheap. This ended up going for $9.79. People will play older editions of games. Maybe they want the art just as a card. You never know what people are going to grab stuff for. All right. Next up is going to be a little vintage Transformer. What is this one? Overload Cab Transformers G1, a little micro one. I think this one's complete. My brother had gotten a huge toy collection many years ago, and then he had already listed and sold all the complete stuff, and then he ended up giving me bags of stuff, the smaller bits and pieces, because I listing that stuff. It doesn't bother me. So yeah, this was from him, so I thank him. He watches occasionally. This was $11.19. All right, moving along, we have the Lost Fleets Corsairs graphic novel book right here. I'm assuming this is based off of either a video game or a movie. I don't actually know what this one is. I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, so this one doesn't ring a bell to me, but someone picked up this comic. I get comics and graphic novels from someone that knows way more about comics, so I kind of get the scraps, but I still like to sell them. This ended up going for $5. All right, next up is going to be D&D Dragon of Ice Spire Peak. Sorry, that's a mouthful. Adventure preview. This is going to be, this is 5th edition. They have a starter set which has the little booklets and stuff. I think this was given out before the starter set came out, and the starter set has the full adventure. So this is kind of oh, do you want to play D&D with your friends? Here's some rules. Go ahead, give it a try. If you like it, the preview, you'll probably like the full game. So yeah, it has a little maps in here and a map key. But yeah, this is a smaller booklet. Just gives you a taste of an RPG. Plus, some people like to read them and read the lore and stuff like that. There's also preview RPG books for almost most RPG games. They have them on free RPG day. This sold for $6.99. All right, next up, looks really cool. The pieces look cool. I've never played this board game. This is called, I think, James Campbell's, one second. It's all the way on the bottom here. Noble House. So some kind of trading, dealing game. It says it's in Hong Kong's world of high finance right here. Sorry, I thought it was a fantasy game. Really cool art. The cards and pieces are all cool in there too. I got a couple of these. This one didn't sell for too much. This one ended up only selling for $8. So I think I had it listed and for 20 and then 21, and sales and offers brought it down to 8. Or we sent a $10 offer. Someone went 8, and I'm like, whatever. Someone's gonna appreciate it. I'll put a B here because I ended up getting 2 of them. But yeah, I thought this could be a better one, a higher selling one, but it's okay. Most of the price is gonna be in the shipping for that person. They paid $10 or something. All right. Next up is going to be Natural Bridges right here. This is going to be a monument, a national monument. This is going to be a patch right here. We used to get a bunch of like patches, pins, paper ephemera. I love the categories. We haven't gotten in a while, so I haven't been able to list some stuff, but we sold a lot of this stuff when we first started, first like 6 months or first year. So people will pick up like the cool ones. They'll actually use them or collect them. People have like crazy pin collections. This sold for $8. All right, we got those relatively cheap. Next up is going, so a lot of small sales too, but it all adds up, is going to be a Muffy Vanderbear. This is going to be a Christmas elf outfit for like a teddy bear. I think in that I got a bunch of like teddy bear stuff at some point and an auction for like $5 for like a big box, and no one else wanted to deal with it. So I just listed the whole thing, and the stuff's been slowly selling. So yeah, this ended up going for $5.24. But obviously Christmas is around the corner, so they want to dress up their teddy bear as an elf. All right. Moving along, we have Descent Journeys in the Dark 2nd edition. This is going to be 47 cardboard tokens. These are just going to be like objective tokens. There's also the condition tokens. There's villagers. There's loot tokens. I played this game before. It's a fantasy game where players play as heroes, and then someone plays as the overlord, and you go through a whole campaign. There's tons of expansions and different module parts you can add into the game and take out. I love the game a lot. So extra tokens is probably a good idea. I just got some bits and pieces. Sometimes I'll find these games and they'll be incomplete, and I'll separate the miniatures and the tokens and the cards, and maybe someone will need replacements, or they want to make their own scenarios. $8 for that. All right. Moving along, we have Goosebumps. It's been a while since we've sold a Goosebumps, I believe. This is not a 1st edition. This is going to be number 34, Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. I think I remember reading this one. I wasn't a big fan as a kid for reading this one. I mean, I read like, I think most, if not all of the Goosebumps as a kid. So I know people like collect the collections. We had a viewer buy one of our Choose Your Own Adventure books at one point. But yeah, Goosebumps, super popular. It's ended up going for $7.87. Also, the new Goosebumps shows, I forgot whatever streaming platform they were on. We watched them. There was like one like a couple years ago, or 2021 or something. And then there was one that came out last year. They were pretty good. All right. And also the old vintage TV show. Next up, Annette, I got a bunch of these. Like, it was like at a, not a flea market, but I always forget Annette, what's the name of the place? Those places. It's not flea market. It's antique malls. It was an antique mall. And then she ended up finding like a person that had all this like educational stuff and different ephemera. Someone had taken those educational posters and cut out all these animals. She got like a big bag for like $2. And also when we were getting rung up at the person at that antique mall, I always think of like flea market, but it's different, right? Similar-ish, but different. The person was complaining about how she got too cheap of the stuff. They're like, oh, that person just dropped off that stuff. They kind of put it too cheap. They literally just kept talking about it. I thought it was super weird. It's like, yeah, and then it always finds the good deals. But yeah, really cool tiger right here. It's like a decal cutout. This ended up going for $10.50. That's what that kind of stuff I love listing. I love selling it. Someone's going to appreciate it. It's awesome. There's a bunch of cool animals. We have a lot more listed. All right. Like of those. Moving along, we have this Stratego. I love this game. Stratego is such an amazing classic game. Like, this is just an amazing game where you have like your flag and you have your 40 pieces, and you'll have soldiers of like different numbers. I think it's like 2 up to 9. And then you also have bombs, which are essentially traps, and you get to move a piece on your turn, and you're just trying to put your piece over the flag, and then you win the game. It's like a gridded map. So these are pieces. It's a set of pieces from 1970. I have like 2 more sets, so I put a note for myself to relist it when I sold some. So I got to relist them. I have to double check, so I double checked there. I counted to make sure that I had all 100 pieces. But yeah, this sold for $13.86. Seriously, that's such an amazing classic game. I love Stratego. All right, next up is going to be, it was like, I played probably like 2,000 games of Stratego as a kid and stuff. And then anytime anyone has it and wants to play, I'm like, I'm down. Even I like it even more than a lot of my modern games, which is crazy. We have High Stakes right here by WizKids, 2-player, like a starter game or a starter set right here. Some kind of like poker game that WizKids was trying to make. They're known for, they do a lot of board games and card games. They're not as well known for them. They're known for their hero clicks, like the Marvel and DC, like those little things with the little Oreo bases that click and that are collectible. But they do have like a whole branch of board games and card games. I always keep an eye out on them. Sometimes they'll make some winners, because like when you have a company and people within that company are constantly working on stuff, I feel like they'll eventually get some good hits, as in like good quality games. But yeah, this ended up going for $6.72. They're a bigger company, so they got to make a lot of different types of products to like support all their employees and stuff. All right. Next up, one of my favorite board games of all time. This game is absolutely amazing. This literally changed my life and how I viewed board games. This is going to be Risk Legacy. This was the first Legacy board game I played. I think this was the first one that was made. Then a Pandemic Legacy came out. Legacy essentially means you're playing a board game where you're going to make permanent choices to the game. On the back here, you're gonna play like a base. It starts off at basic risk, but then the game and the rules change based on the stuff you guys choose within the thing. So you're gonna end up having like these little packets here. This one was new, but it is open box, and this box was designed to be junky because they wanted to let you know, like, hey, this is designed to be destroyed and consumed. So you have all these little packets here. This stuff opens up when certain conditions are met. So it says open this the first time a faction is eliminated from the game. There's going to be different pieces in here that change the rules, and you guys get to, as a group, decide on how different your game is going to be from someone else. And they're like pretty big changes. There's the board here, and then, yeah, there's just like a bunch of stuff that like opens up. Like I said, it starts as basic risk. This game, I love Legacy board games. It's such a unique experience. There's not that many. I literally, like, once every few months, I will look at Board Game Geek and see what new Legacy board games are coming out. There's probably like 200 to 300 total, which is not like a big amount. But yeah, this is one of my favorite games. Unironically, I never even finished a full campaign. It was just like the ability to change board games permanently. Amazing. $27. So I'm glad someone picked that up. All right. Next up, I think that was my personal copy. I found it cheap somewhere many years ago, way before eBay. And then anytime I would see a cheap copy, I'll be like, oh, okay, the saran wrap or whatever, or the seal is open, but everything's there. I'll eventually want to play this again. All right. But I don't have anyone to play Risk Legacy. Ananda's not into like the territory control board game. So, all right, mostly just playing. You're not into territory control board games. Am I wrong? Oh, okay. She's like, yeah. All right. She thought I was like speaking for her on a turn or something. I know you don't like them. All right. And I mostly just play board games solo with her at this point. All right, we have this right here. This is going to be a record. We got a bunch of free records, so we salvaged them. They were going to be thrown out. I don't know anything about records. This is going to be, what is this? I can't read it. The Oak Ridge Boys. I think I'm saying that right. The Oak Ridge Boys right here. What is this one? Fancy Free. Sorry, my eyes are not working. My eyes been really bad like past few days. This one ended up going for $6.99. I think it's because I'm not getting enough sleep. I just literally just can't sleep. It's not that I don't want to. I will like lay in bed, no phone, no nothing, just literally sit there. I'm gonna maybe just start reading, to just like reading with like physical books, just to maybe it'll put me to sleep or something. All right. Next up is going to be a mug. We used to get a bunch of mugs. This one's pretty cool. This is going to be the British Museum London mug with a little sticker, or a sticker, the original tag. This is how I used to store stuff. This is such an old listing. This is probably one of our first like few hundred items we listed. This ended up going for $14. I don't know if we would do mugs these days. I guess we would. They're kind of hard for me to store. I haven't broken one yet, or maybe one. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Sorry for the crinkles. People like specific ones. I have like a collection of mugs myself for like coffee when I have coffee, so I like a good mug. All right, next up, I have too many. I don't need more. We have Warhammer 40K and Fantasy Vintage bits and pieces. I got like this huge box of bits and pieces, and I was just looking at what we did before the bits and pieces, and I would lay out like 50 to 70 pieces, and then we were selling them anywhere from like $24 all the way down to like 10 or 12 bucks. So I kind of put these at like 30 bucks. And I've just been taking offers. I've been listing them for almost like a week and a half at this point. I'm almost done. I'm going to finish today. I think I'm on listing 141. Really easy. I like to lay them out so everyone can see, so that takes time. But if I sell them all at like 15 bucks, that's a lot of money. But yeah, I got the whole box for like, I think it was like 80 or 100 bucks. But this end I'm going for $16.79. This is the second lot of bits. These were really cool ones. I even pulled out individual bits and pieces because some of them look like they could be like pretty cool or rare or something like that. So these were like vintage ones. So people are going to be finding good deals as they get through my bits and pieces. So, all right. Next up is going to be some bases. These are going to be 40, 25 millimeter green bases. These are going to be for bolt action. Well, they don't have to use it for bolt action, but that's just the particular types of bases that come in their miniatures. And I think it's like a World War II or military game. I forget the exact details of bolt action. I know it's like kind of hipster. People like it, but yeah, bases. People are working on projects, miniature projects during the winter. So I've been selling a lot of these. I've been getting really rewarded for having a lot of bases. It's kind of like a very generic thing to list, bases, but I like doing it. $19.59. I also have some more to list. All right, running out of breath. Next up is going to be Empire of the Sun. This is going to be, it's like an Avalon Hill. I think it's like a military samurai game. Sorry, I was thinking for the right word. These are going to be the chit tokens for it. I find the game incomplete a lot, so It complete, I think, is around 80 to 100 bucks. It's been a little bit since I looked at it complete. But yeah, these little tokens, it's not all of them. One sheet in the back is kind of full, like the one in the back. And then this one up front has most of them here, or like these right here, this, and then like the rest is missing. But people just want replacement tokens. These are like, unfortunately, easy for people to lose. And a lot of these games are from the 80s or 90s or early 2000s. So they want replacements. $11 for this. They're clean as well. They get dirty, but that's just how that little cardboard works when people like, use their fingers on a game, and then it's going to get dirt on those types of components. The wooden. All right. Next up, this was really controversial. I probably got the most, like, I don't want to say hate messages, but angry messages or mean messages or uninformed messages. So there's 6 of these sleeves. These are going to be from, I believe, the late 90s or early 2000s. They are these shiny colored, they are small sized, Japanese sides. Specifically, most people want to use it for Yu-Gi-Oh! There's other games that use small size sleeves, but people are going to use them for Yu-Gi-Oh! And these days, they're probably going to use them for their extra deck because they don't have to worry about, I think, matching colors, I believe, because it's not shuffling with their main deck. It's been a long time since I played Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm shooting a little bit from the hip with that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to use them for. But yeah, these are shiny, and they have like a huge texture on it. And if you find these like as a full set or enough for like a deck or more of these, you'll get good money for them. I had a lot of people get angry because I listed these for like 15 bucks or something for 6 individual sleeves. Literally probably got over 50 messages. This eventually sold for $10.20. The other most common question I got for these is, do you have like a full set of any of these individual colors? I said, no, I don't. So I know people are looking out for them. So half of the messages were telling me like, why are you listing 6 junky sleeves? You don't know what you're doing. Where the other half was a bunch of people asking me for more of these. So I always keep an eye out for these. They also have a bad quality to them because they were older, so they rip easily, which means people want more when they pull out their old Yu-Gi-Oh deck. They're plain. They get a sleeve that gets ripped on the edge. They really made them not as good. They were more consumable back then. Now these days, companies trying to make them more durable. It's still a consumption product. It's weird for people to think about. Like, they are meant to be shuffled. They are meant to at some point snap or break or rip on the side, and they're meant to be replaced. But yeah, $10.20. Sorry, that was a lot about that. I just felt like justified for that because got a lot of messages for that one over the past year. It feels good to sell it. All right. It's also like good for you guys to keep an eye out for those. They are a very specific type of sleeve. So, all right. Right here is a calendar. This is Legends of the Orient. This is a 1998 calendar. This, I always like to sell the calendars. It was just like never got any crazy money from them. I just thought like the art here was really cool. All these different arts. I like calendars. I like keeping track of time and stuff like that. I found out only like last year or 2 years ago that calendars will go through like a certain cycle. So like 1998 is actually going to be the same days for 2026, which is going to be next year. So that's probably why this one sold. So I did not pick this up knowing that was going to happen when I originally picked this up. This is an older one. But yeah, this one I'm going for $12.50. I don't know. I just never knew that. I never knew that like you could reuse old calendars. And that'll let me know at one point because we sold one like a year or two ago. And I'm like, why did they pick that up? And she's like, oh, it's going to be good for this year. And I'm like, really? All right. Next up, we have inside this box is going to be this like a specific frame. It's like an Avon frame, I think. Is it Avon? Yeah, Avon, like the soap company or something. It's a really nice little frame. And then it comes with this outer box that you can just mail it from this box. So it's a nice package. Someone's probably going to put a picture in and they're probably going to mail it to someone as a gift for the holidays. $15. That's just stuff that comes in like bulk buys from like storage unit flippers and stuff like that. It's a decent one. I knew someone was eventually going to pick it up. All right. Moving along, Root, the Underworld expansion. Sorry, I have a weird baggie on it. When I don't have like the correct size baggie, I'll just use these basket liners. They're really cheap. We buy them for that purpose at some point. But yeah, this is going to be expansion with extra characters. Root is going to be a territory game where the base game has like the 4 different animal factions. Then there's a ton of expansions to add different factions and also different maps, sometimes different scenarios. Sometimes they have like rule sets and stuff that change. So this one was incomplete. I forgot what was missing. I think it was the, I would have to look at my listing, but if I have to take a guess, it's going to be the meeples, unfortunately. They make really beautiful meeples. They look really like nice. But yeah, this ended up going for $10, so someone's going to appreciate the bits and pieces. That's a good deal for them. They're paying more in the shipping. All right, last item for the day. I actually think I lost money on this. I think I got this at like, what do I want to say? I can't think of stuff today. My brain's melted. It's not a estate sale. Thrift stores. Seriously, my brain is melted today. Thrift store. I got this at a thrift store. Probably the first few months of us doing eBay. I remember people liked perler beads. I thought that they would be more expensive. I know people do a lot of creative projects. Like I was on Reddit the other day for a video game, Octopath Traveler, and someone had made every single character with the perler beads. So I do know it's a category to keep an eye out for, but I'm not sure about the details, like which brands and which colors and the pricing of all that. So I got this way before I was informed. This only sold for $5. That's fine. It's taking up a lot of space at the storage unit. Someone's gonna have fun making stuff with it. So I'm glad, even though we lost money on this one, because after the fees and the box and our time and the listing and storage, but yeah, someone's gonna appreciate it. Whatever, someone's gonna do some. I'm glad someone will be happy with that, and they get a good deal, cheaper holiday gift. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to help support us. Take a look at our links down below. Have a good one.